see, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're tying up a custom order today. I won't mention his name because I don't know if he wants to be mentioned or not. If he tunes in for this live, I guess we'll know then. Had a little scare with the school today. They had misplaced my daughter somehow. We're going to be using this super glue a lot today. Let's see. Hey. We're tying a custom order of jigs today. We got somebody that ordered some. They like yellow and white, so we're going to tie half of them with yellow. Then we'll tie the other half with white, a white tail. We'll tie 5 of these big ones and then 5 smaller ones. He hadn't specified on the size or the weight, and so I'm going to give him a mixture. Without further ado, we'll get right into it. Tying jigs. Tying jigs. For crappie fishing, trout fishing, that kind of stuff. When my daughter gets here, we may actually go try to unsink a sunken boat. Put another dab of super glue on there just to make it extra tough. A little bit of super glue goes a long ways. Remember me, Alabama fly fishing? Yeah. Making jigs. Is that fishing lure? Yes, Mullins. Alabama fly fishing. Yeah, I think we talked about different kinds of fishing rods, I think. Different kinds of fly rods. Yeah, they're pretty cool. We're making these today. We got a custom order, and he likes yellow and white. So we're gonna tie some with yellow, and we'll tie some white. I got white jig heads. The only thing I don't have is white thread, so we're gonna use like maybe this gold color. We can kind of hide it maybe, or maybe silver. Probably silver. We'll probably go with silver. We got white bucktail. We got white jig heads, and we got white chenille. So we should be able to tie some up pretty good. We'll probably tie 10 of each. I don't know that I'll tie them all on camera, just because when my daughters get home, we may end up doing something different, and then I'll tie these up off camera. But I'll probably get through at least 10 of them before we get off here. How much does it cost for one? $1.50 unless you buy 100. If you buy 100 of them, then I sell them for $1.25 a piece, and that's plus shipping. Shipping's only about $4 or $5 for 100. But I look for most people to probably order around 10. Matter of fact, this guy really never told me how many he wanted. I'm just doing a ballpark number. Just a... I wish I could wake up and not care about my bedhead like this fella. Yeah. I actually welded all day, so I had a hat on, but you'd be better off to not care what people think about you. Little dab of super glue. How much does it cost for two? $3. If you go to Walmart and you want to buy some that you don't get to pick the colors, that they already have the colors picked for you, and if you went and bought 2 Arky jigs right now, it'd cost you $3. So I figure that mine are hand tied, so they probably I should be selling them for a little bit more than that, but and they're custom, and I don't have a machine doing it for me. So I feel like that I should be able to at least compete with one good brand of jigs, because I can make whatever color you want. You're not just stuck with what Walmart has or whatever the bait store has. If you email me and you email me what color variations you want, then you can get whatever you want. I'll show you a box of jigs that I got tied up here in just a second. Sorry about that beeping. I'll shut that off here in a minute too. What did I do with that box of jigs? Thought I brought them in here. Here they are. Yeah, I like orange and yellow. Orange and yellow right here. I tie all different colors jigs. I got another box over here. Let's see. I tie feather jigs, but they're Can't really see them that good in here. They're in this clear box. They're not stuck in styrofoam. I'll bust one out and show you guys. Little feather jigs. The feathers have a little bit more movement. They're a little bit more free moving in the water when they get wet. Where this bucktail, all this will clump together. So if you will, picture this being like a Bobby Garland. The tail will all, when it gets wet, it'll all stick together. So it'll all be moving as one unit. And it's stiff, so it doesn't have the action that marabou jigs do. But bucktail works really good. Alright, now that that's done, how long have you been doing this for? Just a couple months. Before I started tying them, I watched probably every YouTube video on the internet, getting different ideas and learning how to do it. And there's a guy on TikTok, his name is Ruben Flores. He's actually my inspiration to do this and to do it live. He's a pretty cool cat. I met him at a boat and tackle show in Pryor, Oklahoma. And he was my inspiration behind this. Keep forgetting this super glue. You don't have to use super glue, but if you're going to be catching crappie like off of docks or something like that, it makes it a lot more durable. McFluffin, congratulations. Lucas Graham, thank you, I appreciate it. That box is clean AF, yeah. Well, thank you. Every time I tie jigs, I tie a couple for myself, so that way I'll have a couple of each jig that I've tied. And for you people new here, Ruben Flores was my inspiration, but I actually wanted to learn how to tie jigs because my wife's grandpa gave me a bunch of jigs, and I got the card that they came on. You can tell by how old the paper is. Still got a little note on it, but he gave me this little envelope of crappie jigs. And we started running out, and I kept one of each because I wanted to learn how to tie jigs, so that way I could retie them. Lucas Graham, think you're no problem. Ruben Flores was my inspiration to do it live because he does it live on TikTok. And he was telling me going live. I told him about my YouTube channel, and at that time I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers. Now I have over 3,000 subscribers. So that's pretty cool. And but 1,000 of those subscribers all came from doing lives. 2,000 of them came, or 1,000 of them came from doing regular videos. And 1,000 of them came from doing YouTube shorts. I don't do the YouTube shorts as often anymore as I did before I started doing the lives. But the watch hours on lives don't count towards YouTube monetization at all. So all they do is help you get subscribers. I have the subscribers, now I need the watch hours to be able to get monetized, to get paid from YouTube to sit here and tie crappie jigs. I think that'd be pretty cool. But shorts will get your subscriber count up pretty quick if you're into that kind of thing. Another one down. We do a lot of giveaways on this channel too. Do I hunt also? I haven't hunted in a long time. Honestly, I haven't hunted since I was a kid. I want to. There's a place down the road from where I live at that I want to go deer hunting on, but it'd have to be crossbow because we're kind of close to town, but there's like 2 miles of country between us and town. What website do you get them? Because I want to buy a submarine. You can email me at thatdamnfishingguy247@gmail.com. Thatdamnfishingguy247@gmail.com. So pretty much just remember my channel name and then 247@gmail.com and you got it. Thatdamnfishingguy247@gmail.com. But anyway, I do a lot of giveaways on this channel too. We did one yesterday. We're not going to do one today because I'm tying a custom order, but make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe so that way you can follow along, and make sure to turn on that bell notification so you can have a chance at winning. Usually I tie a handful of these jigs and then I give them away at the end of the live. Yeah, that's what I want to hunt for deer with, is a crossbow. We're literally, there's like 2 miles of land between my house and the city jail. The jail and where I live at's kind of out in the country. And so there's a bunch of deer on the property, but I don't think I can be shooting a rifle towards the prison. I mean, there's trees and woods and ponds and all kinds of stuff between us and there. But it'd be my dumb luck that I would hit somebody at the prison, so. Crossbow it is. The other issue is it's not my property. The guy that owns it, he lets us walk it. We go walking down there all the time. And I don't think he's going to mind, but I'm going to ask him anyways. I don't think he's going to care at all. I think he'll be more than willing to let me go down there and go hunting. We might bring the video along for it too. Yeah, when I do giveaways, the jigs are free. You don't even, you just email me if you win, in which I repeat my email at the end of every live for the people that want to order jigs, or to, so that way the winner can email me their address. We do giveaways probably, I'd say, twice a week. We also do big giveaways. We don't just give away jigs. A couple weeks ago, I gave away a Fluger President fishing reel. And that's about a $70 fishing reel. Sometimes we do stuff like that. I've gave away CLX 300 bait caster reels. I've done all kinds of little giveaways. A guy named Joe Mama, he stops in regularly. He won the Fluger President. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen him. He might be fishing with that new reel. The other day I was down at this creek by my house, and all kinds of stuff gets washed in and out of this creek. And I found a boat that's halfway sunk, halfway sticking up out of the water, and I want to go down there and try and see if I can get it out of there, pull it out of there with my little boat. Crossbow fishing would be kind of cool. I can't do a giveaway today because I'm tying an order for somebody. Next Tuesday, we'll for sure do a giveaway. Like I said, today or tomorrow, I'm going to try to get that sunken boat unsunk. More than likely tomorrow. I hope tomorrow. But my daughters are kind of impatient. They really want to go down there and get it out. We'll tie 5 of these like this. And then we'll tie 5 of the white ones. That way you guys just ain't sitting here watching me tie the same jig 900 times. Go ahead and pick out some white hooks. We already got 4 of those tied up. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are going to be pretty slick, I think. Just one color jigs. They're single color. So I'll use white bucktail, white chenille on this next one. Right after we're done with this one. Let's hurry up and get this one tied up so I can show you what I'm talking about. Dogman Outdoors, thank you. I appreciate it. Remember, if you guys haven't subscribed, please do. I really appreciate it. A lot of people keep asking me how much does it cost to get started tying flies. I really need to make a breakdown sheet and show everybody. If you had 150 bucks, you could get started tying jigs. Eventually you'd want to buy some more stuff, but just to get started, about 150 bucks to get you in there. Put that yellow bucktail back. On these little bitty pieces of chenille, you see how it's flat and it's got the little tinsel fingers that stick out. When you're first tying it onto the hook, it helps if you trim back a few of those fingers. So that way you got a piece to tie onto without those fingers being in the way. If the camera will catch that. You want to overlap by about half. When you're doing this, you'll overlap the fingers with the center strand of thread. That's a tongue twister. Center strand of thread. You want to keep that chenille as flat as you can, so that way it makes an even coat. Like you just want it to be as even as you can possibly get it. Makes them look nice. I'm not sure that the fish care, but if I was buying them, I'd care. I'd be a little picky. Here, I'll go grab my favorite ultralight rod real quick. You can get this rod and reel combo for about 80 bucks at Walmart. It's a Shimano Sienna, size 500. So I got 4-pound test line on it. It's a 6-foot rod. And it's limber as a dish rag. It's a good one. Right now I got it paired up with a little hand tie jig, at 1/80 of an ounce. It's a pretty good rod. I like Falcon slab rods too, but right now I have mine, it's got a broken tip on it, so I got to get it replaced. But I like that Shimano Sienna every bit as good as I like the Falcon rod. And this one comes with the reel too. On my Falcon rod I use a Pflueger President reel. And that's why I gave that reel away, is because I know it's pretty much the best you can get. Being only 9, it could be a blessing. Let's see, let's bust out this gray string. We're going to change our thread real quick. We're changing up jigs, what we're tying. We are switching over to the white jigs. Hopefully the guy that I'm making these jigs for, I hope he's watching. You should make white and blue jigs. Let's see what that would look like. I got some here, but they got a pink head, but I do like that blue color. I do like the blue. We're going to use this gray thread because we're going to try to make it as less visible as possible. And gray is the lightest color I have next to white. Yeah, I think that's going to work out really well. I was kind of concerned at first, but I think it's going to be all right. Put this yellow chenille up, bring out the white. I think this is the first time I did a white on white jig. All 3 pieces are white. Could I send you a free jig? Maybe if you went in the live I could. Go down a little bit further. Alright, let's see what this is going to look like. This white chenille, if you can see it, it kind of reflects and then it has pinkish blue tints to it. I think that'll be pretty good. Pretty good imitation. probably look like the belly of a small bait fish. I could see white being a really good color. I don't know why I didn't think to tie this sooner. Oh yeah, it looks clean. Looks really nice. I tied a jig up for just when you're going fishing in hunting season and you're walking through the woods. It's kind of a joke, but I'll show it to you guys here in just a second. You know, you're supposed to wear orange in hunting season so that way you don't get shot or mistaken. So I tied this that way when you got it tied on your fishing pole, you got all orange. You don't want to get mistaken as a deer. I thought it was pretty clever. Pretty neat anyway. Now let's get you guys a close-up with this white jig. Sucker looks nice. We got 4 more of those to tie up. Does tomorrow work, or if I can email you? How do you use the knot finisher? I'll bring the camera up closer when I tie up the other one. Yellow and white. Yeah, I would tie yellow and white, but I got this guy he's got an order. He wanted yellow or chartreuse, and so I put chartreuse, then white on white on white. Lucas Graham, I'm not sure I'm exactly following you, but yeah, you can email me. This white bucktail feels different in your hands compared to bucktail that's been dyed. It feels totally different. Let me go back and see if I can comment so I can see what I'm responding to. Have you ever made articulated streamers before? No. Okeechobee, Florida passing through. What's up? I won the giveaway yesterday. Yes, you did, Fishing Bros. When will your jigs be here? I don't know. I just put 2 stamps on them, put them in the mailbox, and sent them out. But Jared Hero, hi. Do you do giveaways for crankbaits? No, I don't make crankbaits. So I do my giveaways based usually off of fishing reels that I'm using, or I like to give away fishing reels that I'm using because they go in the mail easy. It'd be harder for me to do a fishing pole, and it'd probably cost me a fortune. But literally, I go on Amazon and the fishing reel that I use or I'm using at the time when I feel like doing a giveaway with the fishing reel, which it'll be a little bit before I do another fishing reel because I just gave one away like a week ago. Like I said, it was $70, and I have to work every day. I can't do it all the time. I got kids that range from 5 to 16. So I can't give away stuff every day, but I try to all the time. Master Plane Spotter, what's up? Bacon, free Israel. Is that a joke? Because your name's Bacon, and then it says Bacon Free Israel. Is Israel bacon free? Yes, I sell flies. You can order off of I'm making an order right now. You can order my jigs through that damn fishing guy at gmail.com. You can email me. You can even take a picture of jigs that you like and you just can't find them, or you want a hand-tied version. You can send me a picture and I can do it that way, or you can just send me the colors that you want, like the color of the jig head you want, the color of the body, and the color of the tail. And I can do them that way. But I can tell you right now, I want to tie a bunch of these white on whites just to have on hand, because I don't know why I haven't thought of coloring that before. In the water, that's going to look just like a small bait fish. Like, look up northeastern mosquito fish, and if you have northeastern mosquito fish, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's a little guppy that lives in creeks and stuff, and they're white, and they got kind of iridescent blues and purples on their bellies especially when they're pregnant. They're one of the only fish that gives live birth. They're the only fish in Oklahoma that I know of that gives live birth. But look at that. That's a good looking jig. Oh crap, Riker. Alright, give me just a second. Essentially all I do is this throws a half hitch in there. But I'll show you, I'll get it up slow. I'll get it up close. Just give me a second. Here, I'm going to bring you up close for this whole jig, guys. How much are the jigs? $1.50 each unless you buy 100. Now, I feel like that's fair because you can't buy arc jigs for that much at Walmart. Bring you guys real close. I'll wrap this down the shank of the hook until it's about in line with the point of the hook. See? It's about right in line, and then I'll come back. And that just kind of builds it up and gives me a base to build off of. And a lot of times that's when I like to add my first coat of super glue. And then right about the time I add the hair, that super glue will be tacky, but it'll be wet enough to grip the hair or the bucktail or the marabou or whatever I'm using that particular day. Today we're using bucktail. I want to do a live and show you guys in 2 clear cups the benefits of marabou over bucktail, and then I'll explain the benefits of both. Start out with some loose wraps until you get the bucktail binded. And then again, you want to wrap wraps all the way down to the point of the hook. And get that bucktail more or less coated or covered in thread. It doesn't have to be too perfect because you're going to cover it up and you're going to make it look good anyways. And you're going to add some super glue here. And that adds a lot of strength to it. You don't have to do that, but have you ever been using a jig and it fall apart? You know, you get especially if you're catching a bunch of white bass, or any bass for that matter. If you're catching a bunch of largemouths on a jig, they'll tear it up. So that little bit of thin super glue will keep it from getting tore up on you like that. And that super glue is still tacky right now, and then I'm tying this on there and I pull it super tight. So it's getting a super glued on there plus tight on there. Then I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go around it like that, and then I'm going to move this over here, go around it, move this over here to this side. So now you've got that end of that chenille trapped between the two pieces of thread. Snip it off as close as you can get it. Then I'm going to take this hook, hold it like this in your fingers. You go through that hook, around that hook, and then hold this over here to the side. You see how it makes a cross? Wrap it a couple times, slip it off that end, bring it down to the hook, roll it out from underneath there. That's how I tie my knots. So again, take the hook, hook it up by the jig head, catch it on the end, roll it over about 3 times, snug it down, let off the hook. Now it shouldn't be going nowhere. You like trout and salmon fishing? That's awesome. We got a trout lake here by my house. We don't, I go fishing there, but usually not for trout. I do want to get into trout fishing this year. We go, the only trout fishing that I really do is when we go to Missouri. We go to Branson, Missouri, and we stay on Table Rock Lake, and we go down there to the I forget what they call it. Taneycomo. We go down there to Taneycomo and go fishing for trout. This year we didn't do so hot. I got YouTube videos actually down there. I just use a jig with a night crawler on it. They seem to like it, and so does every other fish that swims in Taneycomo. If you haven't ever fished with a jig and a night crawler, you're missing out. You need to try it. You never know what you're going to catch. You never know. Everything will eat a night crawler. You could be into catching a whole bunch of little fish, or you could catch one big drag singing fish, or a couple big drag singing screaming fish. Yeah, fishing with jigs in general is fun. You never know what you're going to catch, but when you put a night crawler on there, things go a little crazy. Got a little wild hair sticking out there. Trim that up a little bit. Yeah, fish like live bait. Yeah. Hey, you'd be surprised. Some people are shocked by that. You know, they think you can only fish a worm underneath the bobber or on the bottom for catfish. People don't even think about fishing it where like on a rig, fishing it like a crappie jig or working it like a jig. A lot of people don't think of that stuff, man. But yeah, I guess I was kind of pointing out the obvious, fish like live bait. But I was fishing I think last weekend or the weekend before last. Yeah, it was the weekend before last. And me and my wife were out fishing on the river, and we were fishing for catfish. But I brought my rod with me, my Sienna 500 crappie fishing rod, ultra light rod. And I put a jig head on there, and with 4-pound test, I was catching 3 and 4-pound channel catfish. And I can't tell you how much fun that was. If you ain't never done that, you should try it. It works good when you're in the river and you got a lot of open area and not a bunch of stuff for them to get tangled up in. Which I was on a boat, so I had it pretty much, you know. I was playing these fish straight up and down, more or less. I was suspend fishing my crappie rod. We got right here, if I can get it out of the lamp. 4-pound test, little bitty jig head, and a crawler. And I can't tell. I live in Oklahoma. I like trout fishing. Shout me out, Jasper Phillips. What's up? There's your shout out. Fisherman 5280. Yeah, it is a little bit. I mean, it's not a. You can buy a bunch of different vices. If you're going to tie crappie jigs, you want a rotary vise. And a good rotary vise is going to run you about $130. Now, I did see you can get this one by Dr. Fish on Amazon. You can get this one for about 75 or 80 bucks. But it doesn't come with any of the stuff you need to tie jigs. It just comes with the case and the vise. But this one, it came with the bobbin, it came with feathers, it came with chenille, it came with a little bit of everything to get started tying jigs. And so right out of the box, I got to tie crappie jigs. And I'll show you a couple of them. I'll show you a couple of what I tied, or actually everything I tied is in this box right here. These are all the first jigs I ever tied. I'll show you one by itself so you can kind of get an idea. I was kind of playing around with sticking peacock feathers in them and stuff like that. I thought it was pretty cool. It's pretty neat. These marabou jigs are pretty cool. But that was literally these are all the first jigs I ever tied. We got 4 of these white ones. We're going to tie one more. Then we might just BS for a little bit. I thought my daughters would be here by now, and I thought we'd be on the road, but yeah, it definitely will pay for itself in the long run. Whether I sell jigs or I just tie them for myself, it gives me something to do, something productive to do. It's helped me grow my channel a lot, and inevitably, it's probably already saved me money because I fish with jigs a lot down at Sahoma Lake, which is a lake right next door to my house, or with the cup. It's like 2 miles away. So inevitably, it's probably already saved me money. Once you have everything, I mean, you have it. You've seen how many jigs I've tied today, and we still got plenty of every color of bucktail, and I tie all kinds of jigs, and the bucktail lasts a while, and the feathers go by a little bit quicker, I feel like, the marabou feathers, but you can buy them cheap off of Amazon too. The bucktail's cheap, the chenille's cheap. It's after you get the fly tying vise, that's the most expensive part. Everything else, if you can spare $10 or $15 a paycheck to advance your tying arsenal, then you have it made. Literally, the hardest part is just buying the fly tying vise, and after you swallow that pill, it gets a lot easier. Buying the feathers and the different bucktail and the different chenilles, all that stuff, you can just stockpile it and just build it up every week. And that's what I've been doing. I've just been building it up every week. I buy something else to add to my kit. This week we got all these different colors of thread, so that way I can make my thread that I'm tying with match the jigs, because I think it makes them look better. I think it makes them look a lot better. Alex, not today. I'm tying 5 of each of this guy's jigs that I'm doing for he's buying them from me. He wanted chartreuse on chartreuse on chartreuse, or yellow on yellow on yellow. And he wanted white on white, so we're doing that. We're almost done. We got to finish this one right here. Then I'll sit back and we can chat after I tie this one up. Everybody, if you're interested in seeing me try to recover a sunken boat tomorrow, be sure to hit that notification button, because like I said, tomorrow we're going to go down the river or down the creek, and we're going to try to recover a sunken boat. And we're just taking my 8-foot flat bottom and my 3.5 horse Mercury motor. We might bring a fishing pole and fish a little bit before we go recover the boat. Just because I think it'd be fun to go down there and catch some fish. Notorious Fishing, thank you, I appreciate it. All right, we got those done up. Brandon Rodenauer, thank you, I appreciate it. Fishing Bros, what's the biggest tornado you have had? Well, they had like a F5 come through here a couple years ago, and it blew all the shingles off of my roof. It wasn't close enough to my house to tear it up, other than it just ripped off pretty much every shingle off the roof of the house. So we had to redo the roof, but we have house insurance, so that was a blessing. But they come through Moore, Oklahoma all the time, and there's a couple other towns. They went through Claremore. I think that was an F5 that was this year. My roof, that was last year. Yeah, we don't usually, Oklahoma has some bad weather. We got not exactly the best weather. We're either dry out or flooding. One or the other. It's never, like the other day we got some rain, and we got like 2 or 3 inches of rain after we've had a drought. Everything flooded. We don't have no in-between weather. Here it's either hot or cold. Yeah, I've considered moving, but my family and everybody I love's here. The rivers, the creeks, and everything I've ever fished. Quit fishing or quit smoking. I'm a welder, bud, and I'm going to do both. Yeah, I dipped Copenhagen, too. My grandpa, he smoked cigarettes, and he lived to be 92. So, you know. And I think part of it's in genetics, whether you're going to live or die of smoking cigarettes, but you're going to die of something anyway someday. You might as well do what you enjoy. What's up from Brazil? Aim into that. I meant lures. No, I ain't giving up fishing lures or smoking. Me speak little English. Well, what's the coolest bait you've ever tied? My favorite bait that I ever tied is this right here. And the only reason that that's my favorite bait is because me, my kids, my wife, and some of our friends, we all went out fishing. And we were all just catching fish, and we caught them on that color jig. We were catching white bass, which I know white bass, if you get on a school, you're on a school, but it was just cool, all my kids getting involved in stuff. And all of them catching fish, and they were all catching fish on something that I tied. Something that I made. Tristan Clark, you're in Lawton? Heck yeah. Mini food jigs. I do tie small jigs. The one that's on my fishing pole right now, that's an 1/80th of an ounce. You can see my thumb, how big the jig is. It's like the size of a thumbnail. The chenille's longer, but the hook's literally the size of my thumbnail. I tie mini jigs. I like catching all kinds of fish, and I catch big fish using little jigs too, because they thing about it is elephants eat peanuts. So big fish will eat a little jig, and the little jig will catch a big fish. Live in Tahlequah, that's cool. You're not that too far away from me. I think you're about like Tahlequah, Oklahoma. What are you? Probably like, I'm in Tulsa. You're probably like an hour and a half or 2 hours away. Steelhead Alley mini foods are life for locals. Have I entered any tournaments? No, but I want to get in some crappie tournaments this winter. Smoking inside is wild. Well, yeah, it probably is. Anyway, if you guys want to see me go try to pull out a sunken boat tomorrow, make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification. We're taking an 8-foot boat. My 5-year-old and my 11-year-old, and we're going down the creek, and we're going to go try to pull up a sunken boat. Los Granjos. There's your shout out. I hope I didn't butcher your name. I'm sorry if I did. Anyway, I'm out, y'all. Have a good one.